Isavasya midagam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita ma grudak kasya svidhanam. In that, what is recommended is that those who have the ability to renounce, those who have little more vairagya, they must follow this jnana path of meditating on Isha, which pervades this jagatyam jagat. So pratyahar or withdrawal of mind depends upon our conviction, our faith, our knowledge, our vivek, that this world is illusory and the substratum is Isha. This world is not capable of giving happiness, and the real happiness is located in us. That is the whole purpose of this meditation and Upanishadic dialogues, what we are having. So let us withdraw our mind from perceived and imaginary world. Perceived world is outside, imaginary world is inside. Perceived world is called as Jagata, imaginary world is called as Samsara. From all past experiences, regrets, memories, from future anxieties, worries, present tensions, all the happenings since morning, all the dialogues in our mind continuously going on, non-stop drama going on of thoughts and emotions, objects and people, relationships and actions. And let us focus on the body. Body is a very good tool to withdraw our mind from the outside happenings. Let us relax our head, face, shoulders. Let us relax our hands, chest, back, stomach. Upper body is completely relaxed and still and straight. Let us relax our lower body, buttocks, groin, thighs. Let us relax our knees, calf muscles, ankles, feet. The body is completely healthy, relaxed. A relaxed, healthy body doesn't call for attention, and that is a time where we can reduce our identification with the body. I have a body, I am not a body. This I cannot do when something is paining, something is calling for attention. So this must be done not any time, but when we are meditating in a comfortable posture. Let us withdraw our mind from the body and focus on the breath. More subtle than the body, but more grosser than the mind. Continuously going on. Breath is always fresh in the moment, detached. Mind becomes blank, neutral when we keep observing the breath. Observation of the breath is one sadhana which is recommended in most scriptures. Mostly all yogis use this as one of the tools. Let us withdraw our mind from the breath and focus on the mind, emotions. All these emotions come and go. Once I start observing, I create a distance between me and my emotions. I'm experiencing anger, I'm experiencing happiness, I'm experiencing boredom, I'm experiencing sadness. This is a better way of observing rather than saying that I am angry, I am happy, I am sad. These emotions come and go, and that is their nature. Let us withdraw our mind from emotions to thoughts. Thought of I don't know also is a thought. I know also is a thought. I know all Vedantic knowledge is also a thought. And I don't know any Vedantic knowledge also is thought. Both thoughts are same as per the knower. Real self has no connection with the knowledge and ignorance. It is beyond both. Let us observe the knower through the intellect. Let us observe the illuminator of the thoughts, emotions, breath, body, objects in the world. I am, which I cannot deny. And I know that I am. Pure presence, existence and consciousness alone. We can sometimes try holding our breath and experience the existence, which is an undeniable truth. Pure existence, not existence of something, only existence. This meditation, this sadhana is not possible without invoking the grace of the Lord and the Guru Parampara. So let us chant loudly. Om. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत् सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अन्धं तमः प्रविशन्ति ये असम्भूतिमुपासते ततो भूयैव ते तमः य असम्भूत्यागं रताः। अन्यदेवाहुसम्भवात् अन्यदाहुरसम्भवात् इति शुश्रुमधीराणां येनस्तद्विचचक्षिरे सम्भूतिं च विनाशं च यस्तद्वेदो भयगं सः विनाशेन मृत्युं तीर्त्वा सम्भूत्यामृतमश्नुते।
Thank you, Vidya. Very nice. So we are doing Isavasya Upanishad, and the flow of this Upanishad is like this. First mantra is recommended for the Uttam Adhikari, and the recommendation is to meditate on the Isha, which is the substratum and pervading the Jagata. This is only possible where we have less desires, less vasanas, and the renunciation has happened with Vivek Vairagya, Shata Sampatti. So, but suppose this is not our inclination and we still feel that we are having desires and vasanas, then the only way, that is the second mantra, important word, only is very important. The only way recommended is doing selfless karma, selfless action. Third mantra takes us down if we do not follow these two. So there is no third method given here. Only two methods are given. Either we renounce and do Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasam. That is the method recommended for a Upanishadic student actually. Or we do selfless karma. For that we don't have to leave family and job. So the family and job becomes the means to purify. Important point. Then the nature of self was revealed with different lakshanas, Vaivartaka lakshan, Swarupa lakshan. And all these lakshanas are given so that we don't get attached with words. And we understand the words are only pointers and we have to transcend the words. Then the nature of knower of the self was given, Sita Pradnya lakshan. And then the result was given of the knower of the self, that how the person interacts, deals, no likes, dislikes, very important sadhana for us. No enemy, no hatred, no anger towards anybody. And then the entire summary was given where the Mahavakya was indicated in the 8th mantra. And the 9th, 10th, 11th mantra is given for avoiding confusion, which is so very evident that many people say that I will only do good, be good, only do the karma, only do the duty, but no upasana is done, which is not recommended. And some people only do lot of rituals, lot of japa, they in their job, duty towards one's body, duty towards one's own mind. I will do a lot of puja, fasting, and then I'll get angry immediately. So what is recommended as a essence in 9th, 10th, 11th mantra is that both should be practiced together. Karma and upasana, vidya and avidya, both. And the meaning of vidya and avidya is karma and upasana. So both recommended to do together, as we can watch the movie and eat popcorn. That is a simple example given by Guruji. We can do certain things together. So this is recommended. And we have already discussed this many times in many earlier sessions, is that after reading so many scriptures and after listening to all this Vedantic knowledge and doing manana, what comes is every day we must practice swadhyaya, every day we must practice some sadhana we must do, and every day we must do some seva. In simple, I must write down these three things. What is the essence of what is happening right now in Upanishad? So after studying all these things, we must focus on every day I must do some swadhyaya, some reading of Upanishad, Gita, Brahma Sutra. At least remember 4 Mahavakyas, those who are following Vedantic path. Before going to sleep, say 4 Mahavakyas. Say asangoham, 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 punah punah. Say Atmashatkam, some swadhyaya. Then some seva. Like if I do not have any other opportunity to do seva outside the house, then I must say that whatever I am doing, that is seva only. Taking bath, cooking, etc., etc. And some sadhana, some ritual, some japa, some puja. So suppose I do this, then that is the best thing. So now the next 3 mantras, what just now Vidya chanted, 9th, 10th, 11th is over, now 12, 13, 14. Now the literal meaning or the meaning what is normally indicated in this mantra is not very easily heard, because this kind of upasanas we don't do in this period now, in this yuga now. So we have to pay attention here, what is recommended and what is indicated here, and we'll try to have analysis number 2, which we have regular conversation, and that's the reason these 3 mantras are very important. So what is mentioned here in the essence, we will mention right now, because as our Vedanta has a policy that first of all, I must ask myself that what is the essence of everything. So what is the essence of next 3 mantras is, as in earlier 3 mantras, Vidya, Avidya was mentioned and the literal meaning was not taken, but the secondary meaning was taken. So here another 2 words are used, Sambhuti and Asambhuti. And what is being mentioned in the second mantra, that both will lead to darkness. Both have different results, and recommended is both to be practiced together. Now, what is Sambhuti and what is Asambhuti? That is very important to understand. So this Sambhuti and Asambhuti, it comes from Bhudhatu. So immediately when we say Bhudhatu and these words, when we hear, immediately one very important verse of Bhagavad Gita we remember, Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. So there also Bhu Dhatu is there. So now very clear, very interesting. Bhu Dhatu means manifest. So now it becomes very clear that now very interesting topic is going to come, because this is an eternal question. This is a regular confusion. Regular fighting happens on this particular topic. Even this topic comes in Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita is Upanishad Su, and Arjun specifically asked this question, what we are going to discuss now. So now what is mentioned here is that whether, so now Sambhuti and Asambhuti, when we say Bhudhatu is manifest, So Sambhuti is that which is manifested, and Asambhuti means unmanifest. So now the question here is that whether I must do Upasana of the manifest or whether I must do Upasana of the unmanifest. Two things are very clear now, but here we are going to do two analysis of this. One analysis number 2, we know because this is very clearly coming in Bhagavad Gita. Analysis number 1, which is very important, which is indicated here, is here unmanifest is not the Upasana, or the indication is not of Brahman. So this I must write down. It is not, Asambhuti is not Upasana of Brahman indicated. It is indicated Upasana of unmanifest, that is Hiranyagarbha or Ishwar. Now just to go back to Tattva Bodh and know the definitions very clearly. My body or my world is called as Vishwa. But there is a total world of gross object that is called as Virat. My mind, which creates the dreams, very important, that is called as Taijasa. But there is a God's mind, which is creating everything, that is called as Hiranyagarbha. And I go to deep sleep, that is called as Pradnya, and that is called as Ishvara. So now these three we must remember, because there are two things, microcosm and macrocosm. After the yajna, we do samashti bhiksha. Samashti, not vyashti we do. We don't do individually now. We have started individual. That 1, 1, 2, 2 people will come and give. But actually the whole idea is samashti. Samashti is total. So we have to remember these 6 words which we have learnt earlier. What are those words? Vishwa, Virat. World, my world of objects, total world of objects. My mind, total mind. Now here the Asambhuti is indicated of Hiranyagarbha, total mind. Now you might say, we do not know. That's the reason I mentioned that today very few people do Upasana of total mind, but there is a process available, Tantra, Shakti, Shakta. These people do Upasana of Shakti. These people do Upasana of Hiranyagarbha. Suppose now we read Puranas with this knowledge. So that's the reason I mention all the time, which Guruji speaks, that before reading Puranas and Bhagavad, suppose we understand Vedanta, we understand more clearly the Puranas, and the beauty and enjoyment goes to next level. Because all these Rakshasas and Asuras used to do Upasana of this unmanifest, Shakti, total mind, power. So now what is recommended here in this next 2-3 verses is that do not do Upasana only of unmanifest alone. And also do not do Upasana of the manifest alone. Both will lead to darkness individually. But both if we do together, then that is better. Now, as we go in the flow, there is one new thing what I learned, which is very interesting, where we have to focus, though we do not know, this is also a possibility. We are all interested in moksha. Okay, you might say, no, I'm not interested in moksha. I'm interested in Swarga. Okay, that is also a possibility. I am interested in different lokas. That is also a possibility. For that, I have to do punya. Now here, there is one more possibility for a human being available. If I do Upasana of unmanifest, so I'm just mentioning the concept. If I do Upasana of unmanifest, there is one more possibility, which is neither moksha, neither loka. It's something new. There is one more possibility a human being has, called as Prakruti Laya. What will happen is that I will go into Prakruti Laya. What is Prakruti Laya? When this Prakriti will go into the Laya, after the 4 yugas are over, it will go in Laya. After the Mahalaya will happen, then it will go in Laya. Laya means all the jivas, all the worlds, all the universes, all this kind of creation goes into laya. As all this world, all these relationships, everything goes into laya in deep sleep. So we can just imagine, just to understand the concept that upasana of deep sleep, if we do, we will go in deep sleep. So in the same way, suppose we do upasana of unmanifest or sambhuti, we will go into the laya. But this laya, all jivas will go. But our sthiti will be different than jivas. I will go into laya consciously, and when again this manifestation will happen through Ishvara after the laya, again the prakriti will be formed. Again I will take a human being. I will become a human being, and my moksha will be immediately, because I will get this jnana. God will arrange this jnana immediately and moksha will happen. But there is one possibility of going into prakriti laya, which will be so beautiful because everybody likes deep sleep. So now that is a concept mentioned. So first of all, I must know the concept, what has been mentioned in this 3 verses. That is analysis number 1. And analysis number 2, we will see after this. But here, this information is required to discuss these 3 verses. So these are the 3 verses, specific advice for those who have eligibility in Upasana. Suppose I feel that I am very strong in concentration, then I am recommended to do these 2 Upasanas together, Asambhuti and Sambhuti. So what is the meaning of this? That if I follow alone, then I will fall in greater darkness. Their results are different and recommended both done together. Now this we will analyze. Analysis number 1. Earlier advice was combine karma and upasana. Now advice is to combine 2 upasanas. Which upasana? Sambhuti and Asambhuti. So this I mentioned, Bhudhatu is manifest. So what has been mentioned by, indicated by Sambhuti is upasana of the Asambhuti is upasana of unmanifest. But here unmanifest is indicated as causal, not Brahman. That is very important point. Prakriti Maya Upasana, and Sambhuti is Upasana of the manifest. Subtle and gross. Hiranyagarbha Upasana is indicated. So what is the definition? Consciousness plus total mind is Hiranyagarbha. Is called as Hiranyagarbha. So we are not doing the Upasana of consciousness. Conscious Upasana is indicated in the first verse. Isavasya Idagam Sarvam. If I worship alone, I will go to darkness. How? Only Prakriti, suppose I worship and I do not know there is an unmanifest form, then very clearly this is what happens, that people worship idol, people worship with ignorance, people worship only the form. And this will be worship of sleep. It will be worship of sleep. Only Hiranyagarbha, suppose I worship, I will get attached to form, I will become fanatic. Both have different distinct results. But suppose I worship both together, then with worship of unmanifest, who are these? I mentioned already, Parashakti, Devi worshippers. There are many who are Devi worshippers who do not want moksha, who do not want to enjoy, but who want powers. And if you see Asuras and these Rakshasas were seekers of this, they got lot of powers. In Vishnu Purana 1.7.12, this is mentioned. And with the worship of manifest, I will get siddhis. I will enjoy. I will go to higher worlds. So what is recommended is that you worship both. So you combine both. So I will get siddhis, which I can enjoy prosperity here. And I will go into Prakriti Laya and remain there. Suppose I follow both. Now here we are not getting into the technical discussion of the third verse, but there is a lot of discussion what this vinasha means that we will mention later on. So important thing to understand here, as we are not practicing this, but this was a norm in the earlier yugas. Only self-knowledge one gets totally liberated, because karma and upasana cannot liberate us. From our standpoint of view, I must not do upasana only for power. I must not do upasana that I will get some siddhis. I must not do upasana that I will get the entire prosperity and the total mind, because I can know everybody's mind. That is some hidden desire many people have, that I want to know everybody's mind. I want to read everybody's mind. Then these upasanas are recommended, because there are certain tantric meditations possible where I can start reading other person's mind. I can become total mind. So we call Ramana Maharshi or people as Bhagwan, because they become all. Ishvara we call them Bhagwan, because they become total mind. But they have gone beyond total mind. Like Nisargadatta Maharaj says that all gods and goddesses work for me. I am beyond that also. So they are talking of Brahman. So this is one analysis of this, which we right now cannot relate to it, because we normally do not see in our day-to-day life this upasana being practiced. But we must get the clarity as we are discussing this Upanishad and what has been indicated. Let us go to second analysis, which we discuss regularly. Sambhuti is Sagun Sakar, where we do puja rituals of a form, and Asambhuti is Nirgun Sakar. Nirgun Nirakar sadhana is mentioned, where Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasam is indicated. So suppose I practice Sambhuti only, attachment to form alone, so without knowing that there is unmanifest form, it will lead to darkness, because we see in other religions that my God only is the only God. There is only one God, and that is my God. Fanatism happens. We saw in our own culture, Shaivites and Vaishnavites are fighting. They do not go into each other's temple because unmanifest nature is not known. Even though when we are reading stories in many Puranas that, Vishnu comes and, prays to Shiva. Shiva goes and prays to Vishnu that you take avatar. But still, people are still fighting, and they do not like each other's gods, do not enter each other's temples. So result of this is what? Sambhuti, bhakti, desire fulfillment, chitta shuddhi of Sambhuti upasana. Now, asambhuti means God without form. Suppose I do this alone. Now, this is also problematic, because if we worship formless without knowing what is the formless, we do not know, and we do not acknowledge importance of the form what is there. And that's the reason Swami Chinmayananda, Vivekananda, Adi Shankaracharya, after realization also established temples. People only say Adi Shankaracharya is Advait philosopher, but he himself has established so many Devi temples, so many gods temples, because once I understand Brahman, once I understand Nirgun Nirakar, once we understand Sagun Sakar, we do not see any difference. They are steps. So result of worship of formless is Vairagya and liberation. Now this is very important to understand. Result of Sambhuti is Bhakti and Chitta Shuddhi. Result of formless is Vairagya and liberation, and that must be done together. So here we read about Brahman. Also we do puja of the form. Also we do japa. Also we do little pranayam. Also we do seva. Why? Because we should not get fanatic by following only one. Now we might say, okay, we understand. This is how we find the cults fighting with each other continuously, because entire perspective is not known. Some people, some from other organization will criticize Chinmaya Mission. Chinmaya Mission is only knowledge. Only you talk about Maya, you talk about moksha, you talk about Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasam. People do not come forward for seva. In other organization, they only do seva, but suppose you ask them what this sentence means, they do not know. Sat Shri Akal means what? That we do not know, but we will only do seva. So both we understand. So what is the meaning of Sat Shri Akal? When I had gone to one of the Gurudwara, I asked those people, what is the meaning of Sat Shri Akal? And it was a nice discussion. I told Sat Shri Akal, only when we read Vedanta, we come to know Sat means existence. Shri means prosperity. Kal means time. And you go beyond all these things. And that state is indicated in this when we say Sat Shri Akal Baiji. So all the time you are indicating that state. So when we know this and do seva, what is done in Gurudwara, the results are huge. Combine both Sagun and Nirgun worship. I will not become fanatic with form, and I will not become ascetic and vairagi, not doing anything for the well-being of the world and say everything is Maya when somebody is coming in front of us. In Bhagavad Gita, the same question Arjuna asks. Same, exactly same. Arjuna uvacha evam satata yuktaye bhakta stvam paryupasate ye chapyaksharam avyaktam tesha ke yoga vittama. Whether I worship this or whether I worship this, please tell me what is greater. Bhagavan says, bhakta who is worshipping the form is best, but one who worships formless attain me. Both he gives diplomatically. This we have seen and discussed. Whether karma is better or meditation is better. Bhagavan says both are. But for you, you practice karma first. You are not eligible for meditation yet. So here also at the intellectual level, I must understand Brahman by various Lakshana. That's the reason in Upanishad, various Lakshanas are given of Brahman. Brahman topic is the main topic in Upanishad. But at the same time, the importance of karma and upasana is indicated here, which is very interesting in Isavasya Upanishad. I must not consider those people who are doing karma or upasana as lower, because these are steps. Here the meaning is as follows. Vinash means Sambhuti and Sambhuti means Asambhuti in the last verse. Those who want to discuss, those who want to again go back to the third verse, this topic we are not discussing more because we don't want to enter technically into all these things. But Vinash here is indicated as Sambhuti and Sambhuti is indicated as Asambhuti, because that is the beauty of Sanskrit language, because one word has many meanings and it can be placed anywhere so that it becomes poetic. So we will see what Tapan Maharaj has mentioned about this verse when he taught Isavasya Upanishad. Tapan Maharaj just indicated in one line, very simple, Asambhuti means Vinasha. With sadhana, selfless service, old tendencies will get destroyed. So Vinasha, he told, you destroy the old tendencies, and that is Asambhuti. And Sambhuti means creation, so you think about the creator, creation, and with that jnana, you realize the new self. That is how he described this third verse. So see, everyone with little Sanskrit knowledge can describe the same verse in different form, and that is the beauty of our Upanishad, that there are many masters come and describe the same verse in different ways because of the grammatics, because of the dhatus, and because of various meanings of the same word. Ramana Maharshi has said, Ahami nashabha, jahamaham taya spurati rut swayam parama purna sata. So one thing is destroyed, vinasha, and one thing is created. So creation and vinasha, both are indicated here. Something has to be destroyed and something has to be created. That is how he described this vinasha and creation. So what is the vinasha of? Ego, false self, and Spurati Rut Swayam, new self is emerged. Now, this is only about words. There's nothing new is created. But once the ego falls off, we come in contact with the real self. Sphurati Rut Swayam. So that is how he describes this, that something is destroyed and something is created. These are again play of words. Those who do not know selflessness and service and Atma Vidya, they will go to greater darkness. Suppose I do not understand this Sambhuti or a Sambhuti, the essence of this is this, that I must practice selflessness, number one. I must do Swadhyaya every day to understand Atma Vidya. What is this Brahman? What is this Nirvikar, Nirvishesh, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma, what is indicated in Upanishad? And suppose I do not practice these together, then I will go to greater darkness. Both must be done together. And especially this verse is very important for Grihasthas because we are in the family, we are in the job, we are in the business. So selflessness, I must practice using job, business, family as tools or means. And at the same time, when I meditate, I must meditate on that Brahman. The techniques, there are many techniques. One technique we are following, withdrawing our mind from the manifest and focusing on the unmanifest. But in the meditation, we are directly going to Brahman. In between these two, manifest and unmanifest, there is one more step called as Hiranyagarbha. Suppose we focus on that, then we will go into Prakriti Laya. So what are the possibilities when we practice Kamya Karma plus Nishkama Karma? Kamya Karma means suppose I practice Kamya Karma and give up the result of action. And plus Nishkama Karma combination, we will get Punya. These 6 verses, summary. Suppose, what is the second possibility for a human being? Suppose I practice Karma and Upasana combination, I will go to Devaloka. Suppose I practice Upasana and Upasana combination, I will get Prakriti Laya, which is another possibility. And the fourth possibility, what we are seeking, direct method, what Ramana Maharshi says, direct path is Nishkama Karma, Upasana and Atma Jnana. This leads to moksha. So now there is no confusion what this Upanishad is talking about. First verse is for people who are directly going for Atma Jnana and they can meditate on Isavasya Idagam Sarvam because Karma and Upasana, they are not interested because they are already purified and already their Chitta is concentrated. Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata has already happened because they have renounced the Vasanas and desires. So now there is no confusion what has been indicated. So this must be understood as a summary. Combination is mentioned and combination is recommended. What is the essence of Pujya Gurudev? What gives here on this verse is that karma, seva, serving the world is serving the Lord, Chitta Shuddhi. Upasana, some sadhana, puja, japa, Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Ekagrata happens with japa. So this is recommended where it gives double results. And Jnana, Swadhyaya, Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasam gives clarity. So this I mentioned earlier, Vishwa Virata, Tejasa Hiranya Garbha, Pradnya Ishwara. This is a technical point. If anybody wants to note again, they can note. So what is the summary of all these pointers what are given in Isavasya Upanishad? That every day we must do some Swadhyaya. Every day we must do some Seva or do all actions with Seva, and every day we must do some Japa, some Puja. And fourth thing what we had added in Bhagavad Gita sessions, if you remember, fourth S is Sayyama in all actions. Equanimity, because Samatvam Yoga Uchchate. Whether I can remain sama in all situations, in all actions, and that Samatva is also important pointer to add because that is a very good parameter to check whether my Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata has happened. So Swadhyaya, Seva, Sadhana and Sayyama. This 4S we can remember. So, easy to remember because easy to practice. Now, after this combination, glorification has happened. So, combination glorification is done. Ninda Nyaya, we saw, not recommended to practice alone. Then the next 4 verses are prayers. Prayers are there, and one of the most beautiful prayer which Upanishadic Ganga, we have heard this, Hiranmayena Patrena, that we will see in the coming verses. So that also I will play. The tune is very beautiful in Upanishadic Ganga when it starts. And this is the verse which is taken in that Upanishadic Ganga. Hiranmayena Patrena Satyasya Pihitam Mukham. Very beautiful meaning of that. And this after doing that mantra, we must chant every day in the morning looking at sun, because this is a prayer for sun. So next time we will chant the 4 mantras together, and these are the 4 mantras are the prayers. So we saw, now we must, summarize in our mind with one sentences how this Upanishad flows in a very beautiful way and clarifies all the doubts. But the flow is very interesting to remember, so that we can remember the Upanishad in 2-3 minutes in one glance how the mantras are placed as such. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you very much.